Evening. Today's date is October 10th, 2025. In this video, I want to talk about what I truly believe is the nature of woman. And I want to talk about the nature itself and then elaborate more a little bit to give an overview of how that nature expresses themselves in women's behaviors and the decisions that they make in life. The objective nature of a woman is to pursue or create a memorable experience for herself. Or it's not creation, it's more of cultivation. They pursue or cultivate experiences that they can essentially relive in their minds. You gotta understand with women, it's like they think of reality different than how men think of it. When they think of a story or some sort of experience they have, it seems that they really do relive that experience again and again. It's not to say that men can't process memories and past experiences, but women seem to have way less control of how they emotionally react to memories and experiences that they've had in the past. Way less than men can. And there might be a biological reason for that. I'm not a scientist myself. This is just observing it's just my observations from my experiences with women, both like successes and failures. And so going back to the main point, the objective nature of women is to pursue or cultivate memorable experiences from themselves that they can relive and emotionally relive in their minds and their body. So that's the objective goal of women. But what type of experiences that they perceive is purely subjective, and that comes from based on how they were raised and what they were exposed to when they were growing up. And just to give an example, it's if a woman's grown up in a family household where marriage is taught as like the ultimate goal for them, they might perceive it as, having a family is the best experience a woman can have in life, And so you see a lot of Christian a lot of religious families, a lot of those women end up getting married, and because that's what they perceive as the ultimate experience. But there's ways where that stuff can go wrong, and women might behave in what seems to be a very irrational way, because you can get married, but that doesn't mean you'll have a good quality life, whether it's related to financial stability or sexual satisfaction. So you'll see what happens a lot with some women. They'll marry somebody to put on this image that she has in her mind, that she's pursuing what she perceives as a good experience, but then she'll go out and get emotional support from another guy separate from her husband, or she'll find sexual gratification with another guy. And it doesn't have to be because the husband is necessarily bad in any of these facets. It's just she's not getting what she perceives as the ultimate experience, what she thought it was. And so that's why you'll see what women essentially do is that, and they can get away with this because society allows them to do this. Society is all about letting women accept them for who they are, and so they're not gonna have any guilt related to this. So you'll see is a woman who might have gotten married, she's not satisfied with every certain aspect of the marriage, and so she'll pursue another man to help satisfy that need. And in a way, she's cultivating like the ultimate experience she wants from a marriage, essentially, even though she's not really following the tenements of marriage. So, which leads to my next point. Like, women don't, and this is for men in particular, don't let women fool you into thinking like they really believe in any sort of ideal or cause or anything like that. Even with feminism, it's whether it be like some sort of political ideology or like economic mindset or whatever, what women are all, well, women are not so focused on the ideal or the actual cause in itself. What they're focused on is like the experience they might get from that. So if a woman is pursuing, if a woman has like more conservative ideals, it's only because that she perceives that she's going to get there's a certain experience that she's going to get by following these ideals and associating with the people who have the same ideals as her. So it's not, so somebody who's in a woman who's in a conservative political spectrum, they're associating with other people that she wants to associate that are part of that spectrum. And she likes the experience of being with those people who share the same ideology. And it's the same idea for feminism. Women actually don't believe in the ideology of feminism, if you can believe that. They just like the proposed experience they can get from that, because with feminism you get to sleep. Usually the idea is that if you're a feminist, then you have no qualms with sleeping with whoever you want. You can have open relationships. That's usually the pattern, and some women prefer that experience over being with a marriage, And so you just got to understand that's the mindset with these women. And that's why, and going off of that, like even if a woman pursues feminism, she might not have, if she finds that it's not giving her like the experience that's giving her like the satisfaction she wants, she might drop it altogether just to go have a consistent relationship with somebody, because she realizes, with femininity, you don't have that much stability in that sort of scenario. You really don't. Like, you're constantly trying to push yourself as this independent woman, and with that, if you want to be independent, that's fine, but that comes with less security with that and less stability. And so some women, they get tired of not having a stable relationship or anything like that, and so they end up pursuing a more stable relationship in the long run, and that's where you get that stereotype where it's like, oh, I've had it's that woman who's had her fun in her youth and now she wants to settle down, because she realizes like that experience is not giving the same dopamine that it used to have, and so that experience has worn off. It's worn off its novelty and allure. So that's really what the true nature of women are. And you as a guy have to understand that and learn how to work around that fact. You can't be like these other guys who might want to live in denial and say like, well, maybe this woman is an exception. There's really not exceptions to this. This is how women are programmed and wired biologically to handle things. And the sooner you face that reality, the sooner you can learn how to develop your own experiences. Because the thing with women is that they can cultivate experiences, but they can't really create novel experiences like men can. And this is what really frustrates women on a fundamental level. They don't have the same power that guys do, where they can truly like create a novel experience. They can cultivate stuff that men create on a level that men can't do, and that's the power that women have. They're able to cultivate things in a way that no man could ever achieve on his own, and that's their power. But the thing is, like, women need to understand, like, the power that men have is that they have the ability to create new and novel experiences. So, whoops. Sorry guys, phone's ringing. But that's why I wanted to leave off a notice. This is just a start. I have other thoughts about this, and I have other videos I want to do relating to this topic about the true nature of women, but it's more of like giving a basic overview of what this what this thought is, and then exploring more intricate aspects of it, if that makes sense. But that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about tonight. I'll leave it at that, and have a good evening.